Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mortal Citizens. In this episode we're going to be going through the armies of Cities of Sigmar appearing at Call to Glory 2020, also known as Cancon. So let's start with what is Cancon. Cancon is the largest gaming convention in Australia, in the Southern Hemisphere at that point. It hosts multiple different game systems from Kings of War and Warhammer 40,000, Epic, Battlefleet Gothic, to D&D, to LARP, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a big gaming convention, the biggest one we have of this sort of thing in Australia. Call to Glory is the Age of Sigmar event, although everyone just refers to it as Cancon, because it does make up the vast majority. We make up about 25% of the allotted tickets at the event. And I believe at list submission there was about 220, 230 lists submitted in total. Cities of Sigmar wise, there were 18 or 19 of those lists. I couldn't find 19. I only found 18 lists looking through. I'm sorry if I missed your list. If I did, I'll make sure to make a new video and add you right at the end. I really apologize if I do miss you. Don't believe I have missed anyone. So it's 6 games over 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. It's generally very hot, and this year we no difference. You can catch the games live streamed on the Honest Wargamer, on Twitch and YouTube. If you wish to talk in the chat and get noticed, you'll need to be on Twitch to do so. And yeah, so the battle plans and the Realmscape features are preset. The realm for the entirety of the tournament will be the Realm of Life, Gairan. And so all the spells from Gairan will be in use for the entire tournament. And the battle plan, so round 1 we're going to be playing Border War with the Verdant Landscape Realmscape feature. Round 2, Starstrike with Lifespring's Realmscape feature. Round 3, Blood and Glory with the Seeds of Hope Realmscape feature. Round 4, Places of Arcane Power with Seeds of Hope. Round 5, Escalation with Lifesprings. And round 6, Focal Points with Verdant Landscape as the Realmscape feature. I unfortunately will not be able to go this year. I've just had the newborn son and we've just got married and all that stuff, so unfortunately can't go this year, but looking forward to watching it on stream and watching my friends do really well. I'm hoping to see some Cities of Sigmar on the stream, so hope all these guys that I'm going to be going through their list and just having a chat about what they're trying to do or what they're bringing, do really well and get on that stream and show everyone that Cities of Sigmar kick ass. So without further ado, let's get into the lists. Alright, so first up, we have Adam Norris. He's playing Cities of Sigmar, obviously. Actually, and his chosen city, Hallowheart. So we'll just go through what cities they've chosen, because we all know they're playing Cities of Sigmar in this. So, for his leaders, he's got Anointed, who is his general. He's got a Lord Arcanum on Tauralon. Spells has Ignite Weapons, and the second spell is Sear Wounds. There's a Celestial Hurricanum with Celestial Battle Mage with the artifacts Agloraxi Prism and the spells Sear Wounds and Crystal Aegis. He's got a Battle Mage with the Witchfire Tome, so he knows all the spells from the lore. He's the General's Adjutant, must. And we've then got, we also have another Battle Mage with the spells Roaming Wildfire and Warding Brand from the Mortal Realm. Actually, and the previous Battle Mage was from Haish. So we've got a Fire and Light Battle Mage here. Then for units we have 10 Phoenix Guard, 10 Phoenix Guard, 10 Dark Shards, and 4 times 10 Shadow Warriors. We then have the Whitefire Retinue Battalion and the Endless Spells, Geminids of All Yish, and an extra command point. Coming in at 1990, 2,000 points, 2 extra command points to start the game with, 106 wounds. So, what do we think of this list? Well, he's taken the best units in the army. Or some of them. Shadow Warriors and Phoenix Guard are really good. The Hurricane Battle Mage is really good. And he's probably taken the best version of the Battle Mage in the Haish Battle Mage. Fast protection for -1 to hit. Putting on one of your units to be -1 to hit is really good. The Tauralon's a cool choice. Like, I've thought about running one because it actually becomes a triple cast wizard. The Anointed General, obviously making those Phoenix Guard battle line. I'm not sure if he needed... Oh, yeah, he did, because, yeah, he's got the 2 units of Phoenix Guard as battle line and then Dark Shards. Would have been cool, maybe, to see a Sorceress in here, seeing as he's got the Dark Shards, so he could have been getting an additional +2 off the Sorceress as well. And she would have given another -1 to hit spell in the army, potentially instead of the Fire Battle Mage. But he's got like a lot of board control ability for a Hallowheart list. The only issues I see is once stuff is down, like the Shadow Warriors, they're sort of down in place where they want to be. He hasn't got the bridge in here, and he hasn't got a lot of he's got shooting, but in much more small clumps, and it probably doesn't compound anything and can't really get to where it wants to be after it does the initial shooting of itself. Phoenix Guard, I found myself, like, they are really tough, but there's a lot of things in the game that can just remove them, and I've run a 20 block and they get removed pretty quickly by some things in the game. So I'm not sure the 10 Phoenix Guard are going to do enough, but it's Hallowheart. He's got the mortal wound output required. He's got some shooting. He's got some tricks up his sleeve for movement. And he's got the command points to be able to spend. I think he'll do alright. I think all in all, this is probably going to be a 3-3 list. This is going to be somewhere in the middle of the pack, I think. He's probably a little bit light on bodies and probably just doesn't quite have the movement potential, but he's for sure got the mortal wound output in the army that he needs to have. And got some shooting capability. So, yeah, I reckon a 3 out of 3 with this one. You've got a solid list. You're going to have a good tournament. Next up, we have Alex Murray, and he's running Hallowheart as well. So, for his general, he's got a sorceress. She's got the Warden of the Flame command trait, and she's got the Spell of Law Whitefire. She's just got the Whitefire tome, so she knows everything. This is actually a really cool little combo. He's got another 2 sorceresses. The first one with Seer Wounds and Warding Brand, and is the General's Adjutant, and the second one with Wildfire and Ignite Weapons. He's also got a Free Guild General on foot with Ignite Scales. For units, he's then got 10 Dark Shards, 20 Dread Spears, which are going to be the Honoured Retinue, 20 Blackguard, 10 Shadow Warriors, 30 Free Guild Greatswords, the Whitefire Retinue Battalion, and for endless spells, the Balewind Vortex, Emerald Life Swarm, Geminids of All Gish, and the Quicksilver Swords, coming in at 1990, an extra command point, and 130 wounds. So, what do I think of this? Well, the one issue I see is he's not got a big hero to potentially do the spell on, so he could be killing his own wizards with the command ability, with some unlucky rolls. Or even, what third of the time it will kill your wizard. He does have lots of sorceress there to make up for it. And I guess you'd be doing it with the general, because then you can palm off the mortal wounds allocated onto the Honoured Retinue. So that might be the way he's doing it. The Whitefire Tome is really cool on sorceress, because they get that natural +2 to cast thanks to the sacrifice they can do. And so they can really make use of all those spells. For the endless spells, he's got the Balewind Vortex core. It's going to extend the range of one of those sorceress's spells, probably to extend the range of Word of Pain. Emerald Life Swarm, because we're playing in Gairan, why wouldn't you? It's going to heal D6 wounds back on stuff. The Geminids of All Gish, always good. It's going to compound the negatives, because obviously you've already got the sorceress giving out -1, so you're going to add another -1 to hit spell. And the Quicksilver Swords for 30 points are just good mortal wound output. Whitefire Retinue, so those sorcerers are going to be at like +3 plus the command ability. They're going to get some big buffs. His units are interesting. He's got a lot of Alex, I know, ran Darkened Covens last year at Cancon, so he's got a lot of Darkened Covens units in here. 20 Blackguard are cool to see. The 30 Great Swords are really cool. They're going to actually put out some decent damage. I reckon he's got a good shot at doing some well, because he's got like big units. Once again, though, like the lack of bridge potentially means once he's down, he's sort of down in a place with those Shadow Warriors and can't really maneuver a lot more than that. But he's got punch in those combat units, so he can remove stuff. So I think we're going to probably say like he'll be a 3-3, maybe a 4-2. Depends on the scenarios and who he gets in them. But yeah, I think maybe just lacking the bridge or like other movement potential of some like cavalry or something that can get around the board and do some stuff. But he's got a solid list. He's got Shadow Warriors from some movement shenanigans at least. But they once they're down, they're down. Yeah, I reckon this is a cool list. This is an old Dark Coven's player finding a way to make his army work, which is really cool. I'll be really excited to see how he goes, because I know the Dark Coven's community part of Sigmar, Cities of Sigmar, has been a little bit down on the battle tome. They thought they got, I guess, the short end of the stick, and I'll be really hoping that he does really well, so we can learn some positive things about the Dark Covens. Alright, so next we've got Mr. Andrew Bigwood. You might recognise him from the channel. He does the Real Go Trek Lorehammer and features on the narrative show. So he's taking Anvil Guard with illicit dealings, black market bounty. So what have we got in his list? We've got a Dreadlord and Black Dragon with the Black Flame Crime Lord for dabblings in sorcery, which makes him a wizard. Thermarider Cloak, some extra movement, and Jutting Bones for the Drake Blood Curse. We've got another Dreadlord on Black Dragon with a Venom Fang Blade and Acidic Blood for its Drake Blood Curse. We've got a Sorcerer with Vitriolic Spray, a Sorceress with Shadow Daggers, and then for units, 10 Drakespawn Knights, 5 Drakespawn Knights, 5 Drakespawn Knights, 1 Drakespawn Chariot, 1 Drakespawn Chariot, 1 War Hydra, 1 War Hydra. And for endless spells, the Soul Snare Shackles and Chronomatic Cogs, coming in at 2,000 points on the nose, no extra command points, 114 wounds. So, what do we think of Andrew's list? Well, he used to run AOS Coach back in the day, last year, and so he's going to run AOS Coach here in Cities of Sigmar. Be interesting to see how they go. I don't think he's had a chance to take them out yet. There's a few things, like the dragons are really, really good. They pack out the hit, especially the one with the Venom Fang Blade will put some damage out. 10 Drakespawn Knights is a really hard to shift unit. They got a 3-up save, so unless you got mortal wounds, you're really going to struggle to get through them, especially if you can get like Mystic Shield off on them and stuff like that. Sorceress are decent. Vitriolic Spray is a really good spell. That's the ignore armor saves spell. Like, just turn your armor save to dash. However, it does have a 6-inch range, so you got to use that smart. The other one with Shadow Daggers, D6 mortal wounds, like that's just good. Endless spells, Soul Snare Shackles, Cogs potentially maybe could have gone and trying to get the Umbral Spellporter in there to help with the Vitriolic Spray and dashing that out, but if you can play it right, he should be fine. The Sorcerers are probably lacking like some Dark Coven units to sacrifice to get the +2 to cast, but he's playing completely with his army that I think he previously had. He really hasn't done anything for this. He ran out of time getting his Tamarkan Horde done. It's just had a bit of a busy end to the year. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this goes. Best of luck to you, Andrew. You know I'm rooting for you, buddy. Alright, so next up we've got Zac Stevens. He's running Greywater Fastness. So for leaders, he's got a Battle Mage with the Law of Smog Descending Ash Cloud from the Mortal Realm of Giran. We've got a Cogsmith, who is the General's Adjutant. He's got the Grudge Raker and Codge Axe. A Rune Lord, who is the General with the Gormir Ranger trait. A Rune Lord with the Sunderblade. A Warden King with Steam Piston Plate Mail. For units, we've got 30 Ironbreakers, 30 Hammerers, 10 Iron Drakes, 5 Drakespawn Knights, a Hellblaster Volley Gun, Hellstrom Rocket Battery, a Hellstrom Rocket Battery, a Greywater Artillery Company for battalions, endless spells and command points. He's just got the extra command point coming in at 1980, 2 extra command points, 126 wounds. Well, what do I think of this? I think this is a good Greywater Fastness army list. He's got the right pieces and heroes that he needs there. He's got some healing potential. He's got buff pieces. Good selection of heroes here, Zac. Dwarves, he's got enough bodies in the way. The Drakespawn Knights are actually really good because they're a really hardy, fast unit. So they'll be able to go out and snatch some objectives. He's got probably not overspent in the artillery department and probably got just enough, which is really cool. Extra command point, the Greywater Artillery Company. I think you've got a solid list here, Zac. This is a good Greywater Fastness army list. It doesn't go completely all in and rely on that one amazing turn that can win you half your games, but also lose you half your games in 30 minutes. You're going to be in games, and you're going to be able to, as long as you can defend that base that you've got with all that shooting, you're going to be in with a chance in a lot of games. Yeah, you've got a solid list. I reckon you go 3 and 3, 4 and 2. You've got a good list. Well done, and all the best to you, mate. Next up, Tim Neal. So he's running Anvil Guard. Illicit dealing is Black Market Bounty. So Dreadlord on Black Dragon. Command trait Black Flame Crime Lord, dabbling in sorcery. Venom Fang Blade, Drakeblood Curse, Jutting Bones. He's got another Dreadlord on Black Dragon with Acidic Blood. Sorceress on Black Dragon with the Witch Rod. An Artifact Drake Scale Cloak, Spell Lord, Vitriolic Spray, and a Knight Azeros. He's got 3 times 1 Drakespawn Chariots, 15 Drakespawn Knights in a single unit, and 2x3 Scourge Runner Chariots, and he's got a Malevolent Maelstrom Endless Spell. 2,000 points on the nose, no command traits or anything of that. This is an interesting list. He's got 3 big dragons, and that's what he's going with. He's got a big unit of Drakespawn Knights to go with him. That's some solid unit, that Drakespawn Knight. 15 Drakespawn Knights, that's 30 wounds at a 3-up save. Like, they're good. 2 units to 3 Scourge Runner Chariots. They're really, really powerful units. This is an interesting list, but I think a good list. Not sure about the Sorceress on Black Dragon. You've only got 1 wizard, so she's either going to be casting Vitriolic Spray or Word of Pain or the Maelstrom. Oh no, sorry, you got 2 because you've got the Dabblings in Sorcery from the Dreadlord. Yeah, okay. Once again, you've not got any units to sacrifice though for the Sorceress, so that potentially is an issue. You're not getting any bonuses to cast. Vitriolic Spray is a higher casting value. But I think you've got a good shot here to go 3 and 3, 4 and 2 with this list as well. Like, you've got units that can do some punch, like those 15 Drakespawn Knights. If you can get them with a dragon or 2 in and they team up, there's going to be some dead stuff. Scourge Run Chariots can pick off characters here and there, and the Knight Azeros can giving you reroll 1s as well to hit. Like, this is solid, man. All the best to you with it. I reckon you'll do pretty well. Next up, we have Simon Hall. So he's playing with the Free City of Hammerhall. He's got an Anointed of Shurin on Frostheart Phoenix, who is the General, Blood of the 12 trait, and the Twinstone artifact, a Celestial Hurricane with Celestial Battle Mage with the Lore of Sindor Wings of Fire. A Battle Mage again with Wings of Fire spell and from the Mortal Realm Gur, so that's the Wissen's Wild Form. The Celestin Prime, 30 Phoenix Guard, 10 Handgunners with the Honoured Retinue, 10 Handgunners, 10 Shadow Warriors, 10 Shadow Warriors, Soul Scream Bridge, and an extra command point coming in at 2,000 points, an extra command point, and 106 wounds. This is going to be a cool list. Like, you've got movement shenanigans and the Celestin Prime and Shadow Warriors, and the Celestin Prime can actually move around the table like decently because he's got good movement. After that goes, the Battle Mage, 30 Phoenix Guard is a solid block of troops, plus the Anointed on. You've got some, a good base here at the Hurricane going near him. You might lack a little bit in the shooting department. It might seem like you've got 40 shots, but it's really not going to do much in small numbers with handgunners and stuff. You've got splash damage though, the Hockland long rifles plus the Celestin Prime and all that sort of stuff. I really do think you've got some splash damage here. Obviously plus the Battle Mage's actual spell. Wings of Fire is a really solid spell, giving fly to stuff. Not sure what you're trying to give fly to. Like the Phoenix Guard is the obvious thing you're probably going to give fly to. Yeah, I think you could have probably done with maybe another spell or something. Wings of Fire is not going to win you games for like fly and stuff for your Phoenix Guard. You're not really going to need it because the bridge should be able to put you where you need to go. But yeah, solid list. Like you've easily got 3 and 3, probably 4 and 2 because Phoenix Guard are just so hard to shift. Potentially, yeah, this is cool. I'm really interested to see how you go with this. Sort of a very obvious what you're doing with this list, a Hallowheart list. We have Scott Bachelor with Greywater Fastness. Now this is a one that's gone all in on the artillery. So he's got a Cogsmith who's the general with seat on the council, artifact, Mastrovision's Magnificent Macroscope, Rune Lord, Hurricane with Celestial Battle Mage, Lord Ordinata, the Battle Mage Hurricanum. We've got the Steam Piston Plate Mail and Choking Fumes, and the General's Adjutant is the Ordinator. Units, we've got 20 Iron Drakes, 10 Longbeards, 10 Longbeards, 10 Frigate Guard, 3 Gyrocopters, 4 Hellstrom Rocket Batteries, Greywater Artillery Company. We know what this guy's trying to do. He's going to try and rocket battery you off the table. 1990 points, extra command point, 116 wounds. This is an army that's going to win big or lose big. That's the only way to put this. You've got some protection, but not enough. You're going to win big or lose big, and your game's going to be fun, fast. Stuff's going to die, whether yours or your opponent's. You're going to have fun. You're going to have plenty of time to go to those trade stands and the thing, because your game's going to be over quick one way or the other. But be really interesting to see how a full-on just going all in on that rocket battery stuff goes, because you've got the Ordinata, the Battle Mage there as well. You're going to be getting pluses up the wazoo on those rockets. That'll be interesting to see how you go, mate. All the best. Lee Wilmot. Alright, so this is Tempest Eye army. First Tempest Eye one we've read. So he's got an Etheric Navigator with a Hawk-Eyed command trait, and it's the General. Battle Mage with the Spell of Aura of Glory, which is the +1 attack bubble. He's a General Adjutant and Immortal Realm Haish. Celestial Hurricane with Celestial Battle Mage with a Thermal Rider Cloak and the Strike of Eagles spell. He's got Anointed of Assurin, a Frostheart Phoenix, and Knight Azeros. 10 Iron Drakes, 20 Longbeards, 10 Dark Shards that are the Honoured Retinue, 10 Grunstock Thunderers with 9 Aethershot Rifles and 1 Etheric Fumigator, 2 units of a single Gyrocopter and Archanaut Frigate, Malevolent Maelstrom, Endless Spell, 2,000 points on the nose, no command points, 110 wounds. Well, what do we think of Lee's list? So, he's obviously a Dwarden fan. All the Dwarden in here, whether they be Dispossessed or Caradron Overlords, because obviously Tempestar can take 2. He's got the 8 units needed to be able to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's got 12 units. Yep, just double checking on that. Got 12 units, so he can take all 3 of the KO units that he's got in the army. Be interesting. I'm assuming he's going to put the Navigating Thunderers and the Frigate all together. The Battle Mage is going to go somewhere. Yeah, this could be solid. Besides, he's got some defensive stuff here, but I don't really think he's got enough defensive stuff in the army. Like those Longbeards are going to fall really quickly, 20 of them, and that's all he's really got defensive-wise. He's got the Anointed on the Frostheart. Now, I haven't looked too much in the KO side of it yet. I should be having someone come on the channel and talk about like KO from a Cities of Sigmar perspective real soon. And also got a Sylvaneth variation of that. But he's got some damage output in here. I'm just not sure if he gets hit really hard early, if he's going to be able to survive losing the pieces that he'll lose. Now once that Phoenix go and once those 20 Longbeards go, the rest of the army is going to get picked apart. It is worth mentioning though that the frigate does fly high even in Cities of Sigmar, so that's a good thing. That can sort of stay out of harm's way, but if he gets Alpha Strike and the rest of that gets taken off the board, the frigate and Thunderers just aren't going to do enough. Yeah, be interesting. Like this is going to be a tough list to get games with, but he can do it if he plays it right. He's got some good pieces. I'm interested to see how you do, Lee. Like I want to know, like, cause it's like potentially, are you stretching to? If you watch this at all, I want to know, was it purposely trying to get the 3 units in? Were you stretching to get units, like extra units in, so you could take the 3 KO units you're needing in this sort of army? Or is it something you could drop? Are there things you would change? Is it just sort of you made this list on the last minute because you didn't like the KO book? Or be interesting to see why you've gone this instead of KO. Yeah. But I reckon you probably got enough like firepower to shoot off some of the armies that are less prepared. So you'd probably be able to go like 3 and 3, and you'll probably pick off some of the like top tier armies with the amount of shooting you've got as well. So yeah, I reckon you can go 3 and 3 easy. Everyone's going to go 3 and 3 because I love you all. We then got Michael Clarke. He's running Hallowheart, so we're back to the Hallowheart goodness. He's got a Anointed as the General, trait Warden of the Flame, artifact Thermal Rider Cloak. He's got a Sorceress with Roaming Wildfire and Warding Brand, who is the Adjutant. A Luminarch of Haish with White Battle Mage with Elemental Cyclone and Seer Wounds. A Celestial Hurricanum with Celestial Battle Mage, Crystal Aegis and Ignite Weapons. 30 Phoenix Guard, 10 Dark Shards, Heal the Honored Retinue, 10 more Dark Shards, 3 Gyrocopters, 10 Shadow Warriors, 10 Shadow Warriors, 5 Sister of the Thorn with Warding Brand and Roaming Wildfire. Prismatic Palisade, Geminins of Orgish, coming in at 1980, 0 command points, 124 wounds. This is an interesting one. There is no Whitefire Retinue in this. He's got both the big things. He's got a big block of Phoenix Guard. Shadow Warriors there. Sister of the Thorn, they're going to be really good. Gyrocopter unit. This is an interesting list. Not quite sure what he's trying to go for, if he's just taking like the best units, because he got only the best units all piled in here. And so if this is just a pick the best things that are in the army and go for it, you've certainly done that really well. Where do I see it falling? With all Hallowheart, it's potentially the lack of bridge, because you can lack that movement and moving that big block around. Although you have got some Gyrocopters, Shadow Warriors and Sister of the Thorn to help with that. But yeah, just moving like this Phoenix Guard and the Hurricanums and all that, and being able to keep it together, it potentially can be an issue without the bridge. But yeah, I think you've got a solid list here. Like, you've got all the good units, so you're going to be hard pressed not to go like 3 and 3, 4 and 2, because you've got all the good pieces. Be interested to see how you do. Next up, we've got Keegan Watson. So, what are they taking? They are taking Anointed of Shurin on Flamespice Phoenix, Anointed of Shurin on Frostheart. So, the first one had the Jade Diadem, and they're playing in the Living City. The second one has the Iron Oak Artisan. We've got Aventus Firestrike, Magister of Hammerhall, Lure of Leaves, Life Surge. 20 Crossbowmen, 10 Fury Guard, 10 Handgunners, 5 Outriders, 10 Shadow Warriors, 10 Handgunners, 1 Scourge Runner Chariot, Celestial Hurricanum, extra command point. Right, so there's a lot of shooting coming out of that forest, and that literally is what he's going for here. And you've got some big monster pieces to do some combat damage, and some... I think that's literally what this is. It's a pop-out forest, and hope to hell you've got enough shooting to get rid of what you need to get rid of. Yeah, there's just a lot of different shooting units. So you've got shooting units for different things. He's got Rend, he's got some lots of shots. He's got some more sneaky stuff. He's got some mortal wound potential with a Hurricanum and Chariot. Like, it's decent. There's a lot of shooting, and it's just the question with this is going to be, can you shoot off enough of what you need to shoot off? And that's literally what it's going to come down to for this list. Next up, Jonathan Byrne. So this guy is, you're cool, mate. Like, I love your list. He's playing the Living City. He is playing Wanderers Mark II, Nomad Prince as the General, Iron Oak Artisan, Command Trait, Artifact Blade of Hammerhall Gira, Battle Mage with the Hyper Snare Sheaths, Spell Law. He's got Cage of Thorns. He's the Adjutant from the Mortal Runner of Garan. You're going all in on this Garan thing. This is awesome, mate. And he's got units 20 Wildwood Rangers, 20 Wildwood Rangers, 20 Wildwood Rangers, 3 units of 10 Sisters of the Watch, 3 Evocators and Dracolines, Viridian Pathfinders Battalions, Chronomatic Cogs, Emerald Life Swarm. Dude, this is awesome. You're going to try and ambush, cast that Cogs up, and smack people with Wildwood Rangers. This is awesome. Like, all the best to you, mate. Like, I love Wanderers. Wanderers are one of my favourite things. Right up there with Scourge Privateers. I hope you do really, really well with this. I'll be really interested to know how you do with this. And yeah, definitely, if you watch this at all, get in contact and let me know how you do, because this is going to be a really cool list and really fun to see Wanderers on the table in such numbers, especially Rangers. Rangers look awesome. Then, after that, we have Jason Wood, who is playing Hallowheart. Alright, so we're starting off different than the rest of our Hallowheart lists here. In fact, there's a Dreadlord on Black Dragon in this one, with the artifact Smouldering Helm and trait Warden of the Flame. We have a Sorceress on Black Dragon as well. She's got Seer Wounds and Crystal Aegis, a Hurricane with Celestial Battle Mage, Roaming Wildfire and Warding Brand, A Battle Mage with Elemental Cyclone, a Roaming Wildfire from the realm of Chamon. Battle Mage with Ignite Weapons Warning Brand from Haish. Units, 1 Drake-Spawn Chariot, 1 Drake-Spawn Chariot, 30 Eternal Guard, 10 Shadow Warriors, a White Fire Retinue. Endless spells, you've got the Emerald Lifespawn, Purple Sun, Quicksilver Swords, Umbral Spell Portal. So, what do we think of this list? Well, it is lacking in bodies. There's no way around that. You've got 30 Eternal Guard as your only big unit. You do have a couple of monsters, but only really one of them is any good in combat. The rest is all wizards. Like, there's a lot riding on those Eternal Guard, and if someone comes in with some heavy mortal wounds, you're going to be in trouble. So it's important for your target priority to get rid of things and make sure those Eternal Guard only get in fights that you want them in. Having the High-ish spell is really good, so you can obviously continuously put that on them. And obviously Emerald Lifespawn will be kicking near them, I'm assuming. But yeah, that's going to be the big issue. If those Eternal Guard go down, you're going to have a rough time, buddy. So wizards will not last long. And the Dreadlord Black Dragon, while survivable, the rest of those heroes are not. So be interesting to see how you go. Some really smart playing, you can do really well, but yeah, if you come up against something that's going to smack Mortal Wounds or Terrorgeist or something, he will tear through those Eternal Guard. James McGregor. So he's playing Tempest Eye, another Tempest Eye one. So far we've only seen what? Greywater Fastness, Living City, Tempest Eye, and Hallowheart. We haven't seen any Phoenicium or some other one, isn't there? Is there one I'm forgetting? Greywater Fastness, Tempest Eye, Anvil Guard, Hallowheart. And then we've got what? Oh, and Living City we've seen. We haven't seen Phoenicium, and there's something else. I can't remember. This is really bad. But I can't remember the army that I'm supposed to be really good at talking about. Anyway, playing Tempest Eye, he's got Anointed of Assurant on Frostheart Phoenix with Ignite Scales. He's got a Rune Lord as his general with Hawkeye, a Sorceress with Celestial Visions, who is the general's adjutant, and a Sorceress with Aura of Glory. For units, 10 Dark Shards, 10 Longbeards, 20 Iron Drakes, who are the Honoured Retinue, 30 Phoenix Guard, 10 Shadow Warriors, a Gyrocopter, 6 Engine Riggers, Sorcery and Bridge, and Malevolent Maelstrom. So, he's got the bridge in there for cool, which is going to give those Phoenix Guards some maneuverability. He's also got a unit to sacrifice to those Sorceress, which is important for getting that bridge out reliably. He's got Engine Riggers, Gyrocopter, and Shadow Warriors, which are all good movement units. Frostheart Phoenix, obviously combined with the Phoenix Guard, is a really solid base. Another just 20 Iron Drakes going to be popping up, and they've got some decent shooting on them. This is a solid list, mate. I think you're going to do decently well with it. It's interesting. I'm not sure if you've got quite enough shooting in it. Potentially that might be an issue, but you've also got Phoenix Guard, so it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Potentially not enough shooting, but it's a solid list, and I think you're going to have a really good time doing really well with it. Another Tempest Eye list next. We've got a Warden King with the General, Hawkeye Command Trait, and Ignite Scales Artifact. Rune Lord, who is the General's Adjutant. 2 more Rune Lords. Gotrek Gurnison in Allies. Hooray, someone in Cities took Gotrek. You're a legend, mate. 20 Hammerers, who are the Honoured Retinue. 30 Ironbreakers, 10 Iron Drakes, 10 Iron Drakes, 10 Longbeards, a Gyro Bomber. 2,000 points on the nose. 520 points out of the 400 in Allies because Gotrek don't care about no restrictions. 113 wounds, 0 command points. This is going to be great. Like, you've got Gotrek. Go Gotrek. That's all I'll say. Your list is all on Gotrek. Worth noting, if you are playing Gotrek, do definitely go check out Twitter. At Positive Victim is running a challenge to see who can get the best results with Gotrek. So submit your results that you get with Gotrek at tournaments to him. All the best, mate. Like, you obviously like dwarves or Dwarden, and Gotrek is amazing. So all the best to you. You may come up a little short. Ha 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 ha. Next up, we have Elizabeth Lockhart. She's running Hallowheart. She has a Knight Incantor, who is the general with the Warden of the Flame command trait, Spell Law. She has Ignite Weapons and Sear Wounds. She's got a Luminarch of Haish with White Battle Mage with the Thermal Rider Cloak, Seer Wounds, Crystal Aegis for its spells, a Sorceress with the Lore of Wildfire for Roaming Wildfire and Ignite Weapons. She's then got a Battle Mage with Elemental Cyclone, Warding Brand, Generous Adjutant, and he's from Gur. So, units, we've got 10 Dark Shards who are the Honoured Retinue, 10 Dark Shards, 30 Eternal Guard, 10 Shadow Warriors, 5 Sisters of the Thorn, 5 Wild Riders, Celestar Ballista. And on the spells, she's got the Pendulum, Everblaze Comet, Emerald Life Swarm, an extra command point, Soul Screen Bridge, Umbral Spell Portal, 2,000 points, 1 command point, 113 wounds. This is a cool list. Like, I think she's got some cool units. You've got Eternal Guard, which are my favourite unit in the book. Like, I rate them above Phoenix Guard. Been no secret of that. You've got some decent shooting out there with Shadow Warriors. A Ballista, like one Ballista is more than enough to give you some shooting potential and make your opponent worry about where they put stuff. You've got the bridge, so your army's going to be able to move around really well. You've got spell portals, so you can get those spells where you want them. Everblaze Comet, plus some other stuff is some really good damage. Splash damage. Aether Void Pendulum's a good spell, can't be turned back on you. Yeah, really solid list here. I reckon you've got a good chance at 4 and 2, 5 and 1 with like this list. Potentially your issue might be that you've lacking in another unit besides the Eternal Guard. Once again, if they go down, you're in a bit of trouble. But you can buff them with the Sister of Thorn and some other stuff. So that's probably your only issue. If the Eternal Guard go down, you're maybe in a bit of trouble. But you've got some solid pieces. You've got a good selection of endless spells to do some damage. This is a solid list, and you're taking some cool units. Now, props for taking Wild Riders. I love the Wild Rider models. They're amazing. Really excited to see how you go, Elizabeth. Next up, we have Cameron Taylor. So he's playing Hammerhall, and so he's got a Frugal General on Griffin with the Shield and Great Hammer, Blood of the 12, Armor of Malice, a Celestial Hurricane with Celestial Battle Mage with Thermal Rider Cloak and the Cinder Cloud spell, Knight Incantor with Wings of Fire, then 6 Demigryphs, 6 Demigryphs, 6 Demigryphs, Hammer and Lancers Battalion, Endless Spells, the Dice Arcanum and Malevolent Maelstrom, 2,000 points, 1 command point, 101 wounds. This is cool. Like, it's obvious what you're doing here. Get those Demigryphs and that Griffin in ASAP. The Dice Arcanum is a really smart endless spell choice for the Knight Incantor, and making him able to keep up with the army. It's also really cool that he's got Wings of Fire as well, which will allow him to make one of the Demigryph units fly. So yeah, I think this is a really solid list, mate. You've got a really good Hammerhall list here. This is a cool Hammerhallian Lancer. This will struggle against some lists, like there's no doubt. Like, and if you fail to get Wings of Fire off, that'll be a problem. But I think you've got a solid list. You'll do decently well with this. Next up, we've got Braden Gras. He's playing Hallowheart as well. So he's got 2 Celestial Hurricanes with Celestial Battle Mages. No, they don't stack, buddy. Illuminarch of Haish with White Battle Mage. We should go through the Hurricanes. One of them's got Roaming Wildfire and Seer Wounds. The other one has Ignite Scales, Roaming Fire, Ignite Weapons. The Illuminarch has Ignite Weapons and Seer Wounds. He's then got 1 Battle Mage with Lore of Whitefire, Crystal Aegis, Warding Brand. He's the General's Adjutant in Garan. He's then also got another Battle Mage from Akshi with Seer Wounds and Elemental Cyclone. He's got a Frugal General on foot who is the General, Veteran of the Blazing Crusade, Thermal Rider Cloak. Really good. That's my favourite command trait because you generally lack some units when you play Hallowheart, and that ability to ignore Battle Shock is really cool. He's got 10 Frugal Guard who are the Honoured Retinue, 20 Great Swords, 30 Handgunners, Whitefire Retinue, and an extra command point. 2,000 points, 2 extra command points, 108 wounds. Right, where do I see the issues with this? You've not got a bridge. That's like the first thing I always see. The bridge isn't in here. So handgunners are going to be very stationary. And you've got a lot of points invested in those big war engines. And potentially no way to extend their ranges or anything or get them around the table. So you could be up in some the army will fight really well on its own objectives, but won't really be able to reach out very far. Because you've also got very limited. You actually haven't got any end spells either. Be interesting to see how you go, buddy. I'd be really interested to see how you go with no end spells in Hallowheart. Definitely let me know, but I think you might just be missing a few key pieces. And now we got Anthony Magro, AOS Coach. Definitely go check out AOS Coach. He did a full, not full, but a more in-depth and overall army review with Clint and Liam over on AOS Coach. You can go check them out. He's running Hallowheart, so his list is terrible. Like, I shouldn't even bother reading any more of it. It's terrible, and he should just give up now. Kidding, Coach. I love you. Coach was actually my grudge round 1 last year at Cancon. I played my Scourge Privateers versus Gloomspike Gits, and I won. I will never let you forget that you are the sole reason that Scourge Privateers now just get talked about so much. What's he got, though? So he's got a 19 Cantor with Elemental Cyclone, who's the General's Adjutant and also Warding Brand spell. He's got Anointed for his General with Warden of the Flame and the Whitefire Tome Ignite Weapons. A Battle Mage with Seer Wounds and Elemental Cyclone from Haish. A Battle Mage with Ignite Weapons Roaming Wildfire from Akshi. That's a cool Battle Mage. I saw you painting that up. I'm guessing, like me, he just uses a Fire Mage because he has the cool limited edition model from Fantasy. Celestial Hurricane with Celestial Battle Mage with Ignite Scales, Crystal Aegis and Seer Wounds for its spells. Units, 30 Phoenix Guard, 20 Handgunners that are their Honoured Retinue, another 20 Handgunners, 10 Shadow Warriors, Whitefire Retinue, Everblaze Comet, Spell Portal, Life Swarm, 1990 points, extra command point, 111 wounds. Got a solid list, Coach, like, no doubt about it. You've got the shooting, you've got a block of Phoenix Guard in there to defend your stuff. You've got some decent mages, you've got good spell selection on them, you've got good endless spells with Umbral, Spell Portal, Comet, Life Swarm. Dude, you should do really well. Once again, the only issue with Hallowheart list is once that big blob goes, that Phoenix Guard blob dies, there are things that can remove it in the game. You struggle. You've only got a single one. But the handgunners do pseudo always strikes first because obviously they get to shoot when they're charged. So you've got some backup plans here. This is going to do really well. I reckon Coach is going to go 4-2, 5-1. He may very well have one of the best cities lists I think I've read. I'm glad. I think I saved you for last. You've got a good list, Coach. You're going to do really well, and I think you've got the best cities list that's going to Cancon. And yeah, that is all the lists. So, thank you everyone for joining us in our little chat about Cities of Sigmar. I hope to see everyone at Cancon playing Cities of Sigmar do really well. Anything negative I said about your list is purely about your list, not about anyone as a player. Players may go and get better results than what the list do, and by all means, if you do better than I thought you would, please tell me I was wrong. There's nothing more I want more. There's nothing I want more than to be proven wrong and see all these cities lists do absolutely fantastic at Cancon and continue to do so in events all over the world. Thank you for watching. I hope to get back on this bandwagon of some Cities of Sigmar stuff. We're just getting some stuff ready for the channel at the moment. Currently painting a few other armies, but there'll be some Cities of Sigmar happening very soon and hopefully very much on the channel. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can join us on Patreon as well. There'll be a link in the description for those who support Patreon. And thank you to all our Patreons who do support the channel and are helping the channel grow and grow. I hope to see you all real soon. I wish I could go to Cancon with all these guys and girls. Unfortunately I can't, but I'll be watching from home. Go, everyone from Cities of Sigmar, everyone on the Cities of Sigmar Facebook group, get behind these guys and girls, support them, and let's get them over the line. Let's see Cities of Sigmar win Cancon 2020. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me. Ciao.